Hi everyone, welcome to Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy, and this is my corner of the internet all about my cross stitch. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. It's really nice when I get comments and I get to respond. I always respond to my comments. If you are hesitant to comment, you can message me on Instagram. I am on Facebook. I have a Harpy Stitch email, so if you would prefer contact that way, fabulous. I am enjoying a lovely day here. It is June 8th. It is my 36th Flosstube, and this is another week of my year of 50 starts, which I was inspired by, I believe it was Nancy the Bohemian Stitchery. Yeah, I think it was Nancy. It's been a couple years since I got this idea, and I had to wait for my 50th birthday year. So, I was inspired by, or I stole this idea from her. I don't have any new starts this week. I'm taking a little bit of break after the May Mayhem's 24 starts in a single month. But I do have a new start coming up that is not on my... For this year, I had all of my new starts planned, all 50 of them. But some things have come up and I have decided that I am going to do some different things than I originally had planned. But that's okay. I'm allowed to do that because it's Flosstube where plans are made up and the points don't really matter. So, I am doing this on a new phone, so there might be some more technical glitches. I dropped my old phone, and you can see the screen got really bad, and we paid them off and everything, so it wasn't terrible. There was just a couple of apps where parts of the screen weren't working anymore. And I didn't want to get it to the point where the screen stopped working and I couldn't transfer my data. Because that's where all of my cross-stitch pictures are, for the most part. Though I do need to transfer some of those around and move them things. So, I've got twice as much memory on the new phone. No, I can't show it to you because I am using it to film. Anyway, school is officially over. I had my first, quote, week of summer break, but we had a workshop day on Monday, then I had a curriculum planning meeting on Wednesday, I had summer school meeting on Thursday. So it oddly feels like I'm much farther into the summer and like I haven't had a summer yet. But that's okay. I've got 2 weeks of summer school, and then I get like a 2-week break, and then I've got another 2 weeks of summer school because I'm only doing sessions 1 and 3. I can't count. And I should probably do it over here where it's not in front of my face. And then one of the days for this first session is Juneteenth, so that's a federal holiday. So I only have like 9 days of summer school for this first session. And that's okay too. All right. I have been focusing on finishing all of the scavenger hunt prompts I was assigned, so I did that. There is one more set that I might try to do at least some of now that the pool here at my apartment is open, but those aren't expected, so we shall see what I do with that. But let's get started on the actual stitching. I have a fully finished object. It is not a cross-stitch fully finished, but it is cross-stitch related. So I was using Elizabeth Ann Creates, I think it was. I will link the tutorial if I remember. And I did, when I went to Michael's to get more zippers because Joann's was closed, all we had was the 22-inch zipper. And so I had to go super big on this bag. And this is the one that made me put everything away because it is ginormous, so it'll fit a BAP very nicely. I got to decide what BAP to put in it. But this was supposed to be an inch taller, and I miscut the inner fabric, which is just basic black. So I had to shorten everything by an inch. I had technical issues with my sewing machine when I was trying to put this together, but it is Batman. And I don't have any Batman projects, but I figured Halloween or something like that can go. So there was a lot of technical issues with this, and I had to take a little break, but now I have a giant ass bag. And I love it. So that is my fully finished object for you. Yeah. Oh, and not only did I have issues with my bobbin not wanting to feed right, and I had to like do some troubleshooting. In this corner, I almost forgot, the vinyl got out a little bit, so I had to unpick like several inches and then replace the vinyl in. And I'm using like shower curtain vinyl from Amazon because Joann's ran out. And somebody suggested this, but it tends to be really wrinkly, and as you know, you can't iron vinyl. So it makes it a little bit trickier to get it cut straight. And I also discovered that I can't make big bags this big again unless I get a bigger cutting mat, because this is about the same exact size as my cutting mat, and that causes problems with getting to be able to line everything up so you can see it well. So I'm going to stick with the smaller. I really wanted to do smaller bags. I really wanted to do just a bag that was 16 inches wide, but Michael's had 14 and then 22. Although I think that will be changing because Michael has acquired Joann's Fabrics intellectual property, so like their fabric line, their yarn line. So maybe we will start carrying in between zippers as well. I don't know. And I'm not sure when that's going to happen. I do know that we started setting Halloween displays today. So keep an eye on your local Michael's if you are a Halloween person like me. That is the most dangerous time for me to work at Michael's, is when the Halloween stuff comes out. That's when I want to buy everything. Oh, and whenever we have Nightmare Before Christmas, which we have Shrinky Dink sets that are Nightmare Before Christmas, and Stitch sets and Barbie sets. I'm mostly excited about the Nightmare Before Christmas, but I don't need them, so I'm not getting them. But yes, that is my fully finished object, is my giant Batman bag. I'm trying to decide what project. I might put Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow in this. And you're like, but why? Well, one, it's big. And two, the Dark Knight. He's spooky, right? Kind of. And I mean, it's kind of Halloween colors with the orange and the black. It's dark, like Halloween. So I might do that. But I can fold it up pretty nice when I don't have anything in it. So, all right, that was my fully finished object. I am hoping to finish up. I got a different zipper for my ocean themed one that I was doing, and a different thread that I think will work better. So I should have my ocean one finished next time I visit with you, because I'm not overly decoraty person, but if I'm going to make a bag and I'm going to be using it for years, I want it to be something that I like. So I don't want like the thread to clash with the stuff that it's touching, if that makes sense. Like, if I'm taking all the time to make it, I want it to be how I want it to be and turn out the way I envisioned it, which is one of the reasons I can't draw, because I have a hard time with the in-between steps. But I'm pretty decent at matching colors. I am not a person who likes two really busy fabrics together, so I tend to pick one plain and one busy. I don't tend to mix two super, and I mean, some of those bags are lovely. They're just not my style. So I'm not one to have two flashy things together. I want a feature piece. Now, first, my stitching this week. I have 2 finishes. Can you believe it? I have 2 finishes in 1 week. The first one I finished on, what was it, June 3rd. I almost said June 2nd, but it was June 3rd. This is Mothra by Hexed Stitchcraft. I started this on April 26th. It's a test stitch. The pattern was easy to read. She does 5x5 blocks. All the sides are measured with the 5 every 5th row. There's no of the gray overlap, but because she labels all 4 sides of the pattern, it's really easy to line up when you have to move from page to page. But this is Mothra. I did it on 14 count DMC fabric called Sandstone. I think it's Sandstone. It might be Sandstorm. It's 2/1. There are only 9 colors in this. I finished this while we were watching Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. So that seemed appropriate. We were trying to decide what to watch, and it was like Avengers movie or Godzilla movie. And I decided that to be thematically appropriate, because I knew I was going to finish, we should be watching a Godzilla movie while I finish this lovely lady. Now I just have to decide how I want to finish her. I will probably frame it. And my husband was like, now we have to get a Godzilla piece to go with it. So, Hexed Stitchcraft, possibly do a Godzilla that matches the style. Another option is, when I took my finished photos for Instagram, we have a little Godzilla figure that the kid got the husband. And I said, well, we could put it in a shadow box and then put Godzilla in the shadow box with it. And that way the cat would stop messing with the Godzilla figure. And he's like, that's an idea. So, I don't know. But I think she turned out lovely. I have not ironed her yet. I do need to give her a quick wash. I know I have to be gentle. It is a printed fabric. So I have to be gentle. The colors might fade. The thread won't, but the colors might. But that's finish number 1. All right. Second finish is Seductive Kermit by the Witchy Stitcher. I was able to finish this week because I had one more scavenger hunt prompt that this fit, which was 400 stitches in a car. And then I used it for my first pride, which was the color black for diversity. And it was to stitch something either in black thread or on a black fabric. And I was a little worried I wouldn't have enough stitches to finish that prompt. But with all the back stitching and adding the beads, I actually had 51¼ extra stitches. So this is just on another piece of the 32 count Lugana that I had in my stash. Don't know where it came from. It's just fabric. Check out Mr. Kermie. One night only. So this is the second one. I need to wash and press this, and then I will be sending it to my friend who asked me to make it for him. He and his fiance met on a dating app, and his handle is Camping Kermit, because he is a big fan of Kermit, and they met through the app with his name, and so he thought it would be hilarious to have this in their house. And again, I skipped the French knots because the weave with a single strand for the French knots. Ooh, let me zoom in here. Oh, sorry, a little bit of cat hair. Can't help it. Anyway, the French knots slid right through the holes because of the size of the holes versus the size of the thread. And they're just on the end of a little back stitch. Can you see? Oh, there you go. And yes, I am washing it because of the cat hair. He has a cat as well, or he had a cat. I think his cat passed away from cat diabetes. I don't know if he's gotten a new one, but he won't mind but I will wash it to get the cat hair off. But there is my Kermie. He's so adorable. Oh, I hit the power cord when I tossed the project. So I will clean those, get them ironed. I will send Kermit off to him sometime this week. And because I was trying to finish that as close to the end, Mothra as close to the end of May as I could, I didn't worry about any prompts while I was finishing that up. I don't really have many projects that I worked on this week because I did Mothra, then I did the Seductive Kermit to finish that up. I knew it would fit prompts. I was almost done. And I wanted to get that finished and off to my friend. So then I only had one other project that I worked on this week, and it fulfilled some scavenger hunt prompts for me. I was trying to think. One was what color thread to use, and I was all in the 500s. So with the scavenger hunt prompts, and I forgot to mention, I'm doing those for Fandom Stitching Central. I'm in that group, and that's the challenges I've been doing all year, in addition to my 50 new starts. And because of the challenges, I had one with a weapon, what was my other one? One was on linen, and then what was my third one? I can't remember what the third prompt was. I think it was like stitch with green or something. It was a color, I think. Or red. I can't remember. Anyway. Oh, Fandom. It was a Fandom. So I got 1,500 stitches on my frogworts. Now, I did not work on the same part of frogworts because they each part fit different pieces. So I'm going to show you the last thing that I worked on first, just because it's easier. So this is, ooh, let me get this random thread. This is Frogwarts Year 5. And with the 500 stitches, I got a lot of this pillar done. I got this ear done. I got most of Grop done. And then I finished this little bicycle, and I don't know if you can tell, but because that's metal, I gave it metallic thread. This was not called to be metallic, but I gave metallic thread for the doorway. I am going to go back in, I think, and do a little back stitching under his eyebrow, and then I think I'm going to do some French knots here to give him some, like a little pupil reflection, because he looks kind of creepy. And some other people did some outlining around the toes, the back stitching around the toes, and because his feet look just like blobs at the moment. So I've just got to figure out where I want to put the back stitching. Those are not called for in the pattern, but... And then there's one other thing I want to fix on year 5. So in this building... Ooh, my hair got caught in my hand. In this building here... Ooh, let's see if I can get it. There are actually 2 DMC colors. I don't know if you can tell, but they're so freaking close. Some people changed it. I didn't change it at the time because I was trying to finish during the retreat last year, because it was my first Frogwarts, and I didn't get very far in the pattern before the retreat, and I didn't even get close, but that's okay. But I am going to go in and do some back stitching to make the awnings visible rather than frog. So yeah, I have maybe another 500 stitches in this, and then year 5 will be complete. I am hoping to finish this before Frogwarts this year, which will go right here. I am really looking forward to Frogwarts. It was super fun, and I am looking forward again to making some new friends. Or, you know, hanging out with people that I hung out with a little bit last year. I'm trying to arrange this so you can actually see what I did. So this is the other one that I worked on, was year 2. You can see the Weasley's house. Here's the car, the cauldron for the polyjuice potion. I replaced, this was already done, but I replaced the thread that was called for with some whisper thread to make Hermione's kitty cat lady more color, or more fuzzy. I think, ooh, let's see, I think it's focusing on my face. Get out of the way, face. I'm trying to make sure you have light too. Okay, I get you, camera. You work a little differently than the camera on my previous phone, and that's okay. Alright, so, but let's get to what I actually worked on this time. So we've got, I added some more of Enemies of the Air Beware. Give me a second. I'm gonna, let me try that. Okay. Oh, that's better. Alright, so I worked on some Enemies of the Air Beware. This is the bottom of the Whomping Willow. Here is some of the Spider, Aragog. And the reason I worked on this one is because I needed a project with a weapon. And I'm missing a few stitches, but that is the Gryffindor sword. And it is all metallic. Or I should say it's all a toile, not metallic. I tend to use a toile rather than the straight up metallic. It's a little bit easier to work with for me, I think. Sometimes you need that actual metallic or the blending filament, but I kind of like the toile. It's a little bit easier than pulling the stuff or thread, making it match, and all that stuff. So, oh, I forgot. I wonder if I can actually show this to you on my old phone. Yeah. Because I forgot to print out a picture before I pulled this up. So we're gonna try, or is it only on my new phone? Wait. See, this is what happens when you get in a rush to do something because you're excited. And, oh, here we go. You'll have to deal with the cracks in my screen, but. Alright, so that is all the actual stitching that I did. Next, plans. I am going to do the Pride Challenge, which I talked about last week, 500 stitches in each color of the Pride flag, plus there's some personal growth things to do. I don't know if I will get to those. It depends on how much work summer school takes me. So let's see. I am going to focus on Shawshank. It will fit 3 of the Pride prompts because I need to stitch it in a brown, a red, and a green. So I'm going to work on those. I got to find my green. I hijacked the green that was in my Shawshank project for another project, so I have to dig that out unless I want to buy some more. Yeah, I'm terrible about borrowing thread from other projects, and I try to remember where I put it, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. Ooh. Excuse me. Let's see, what other things do I have on my list? I only have 7 starts left for my 50 starts for my 50th year. And a couple of those already I had one, the Halloween Quaker Sal, a started one from the Floss Bossed Cousins. That's on my list of things to start. I have a Nightmare Before Christmas embroidery to start. I had picked them all out again, but I changed my mind on some. There's a few that I need to kind of design a little mini pattern for, which I should do that and then use that journal, that cross-stitching journal, Flosstube, itchy nose, for my Flosstuber notes. That, I think, would be an excellent use of a flossy cross-stitchy journal. As I already talked about finishing the other project bag that I'd started, but I am part of Unconventional Cross Stitches mailing list, and if you have not gotten their newsletter, and you probably have if you're a fan, they are doing a free sale in July. So it is, ooh, that actually is not bad. It is an octopus, and we love octopi around here. So I decided that this is going to replace one of my original plans for the starts of my birthday this year. So then, after I decided I was going to do that, actually, before I decided fully that I was going to do it, I was like, ooh, an octopus. And I wanted to do it, but I wanted to see if I had any fabric that would work, because I really am trying not to buy anything, everything. So I found, and this was bigger, but I found this piece of ice blue Lugana. Ooh, it helps if I turned it up, right side up, that I cut part of it out for another project. So very light icy blue. And I was like, that's not the right color. But what I did is I decided that I had some RIT dye that I got to make another project to make fabric blue. And then I ended up not using it because we did ice dyeing instead. So what I did is I decided to try to dye my own fabric. And I went on YouTube and I found a tutorial for low immersion dyeing, water dyeing, for, what is the name of it? Online Fabric Store. It was a tutorial. And mine did not turn out the way theirs did. I don't think I scrunched it up enough, and I might need to use a smaller bowl. I just used a glass bowl from my kitchen, some leftover yogurt containers to mix it. We've got an electric kettle that my husband uses for his coffee. Used that to heat the water so I wouldn't have to turn on the stove. But I took 3 different colors. I took royal blue, a little bit of teal, and a little bit of aquamarine. And I scrunched up the fabric, put it in a small bowl, and then let it sit for 30 minutes. I did add a little salt. They recommended on the RIT dye website to add salt or vinegar, depending on what kind of fabric we were using, to get the colors to pop a little bit. So I dyed this piece of fabric. So they're really light stuff. I didn't want white sticking out, so you can see the original color a little bit. I don't really think you can see the teal or the aquamarine. I wasn't sure how to do that. I think I need to get some pipettes so I could specifically target like the parts of the fabric that stick out of the other water. But I think it turned out really nice. I think the octopus will look lovely on this. So this is only the second time I've tried dyeing fabric. The first time I've done it by myself. I do kind of like the ice dyeing technique, but I think this looks like, you know, kind of like water if you're looking up at it from the bottom. So this is what I'm going to put that on. I do need to serge the edges, which I will probably do when I get out my project bag that I need to finish. And guess what? My octopus project is probably going to live in my ocean themed project bag. So that is my plan. That starts in July. Ooh, don't fall. And then I got fabric for Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which might be one of my starts. I am not renewing my World of Cross Stitching subscription this year. I really would like to, but I think what I'm going to do with that instead is get Wind Stitch, so that I can redo the Calvin pattern that I want to start for my husband, and maybe get some actually good patterns. I have patterns on an Etsy shop. If you haven't checked it out, I do have a link. There's not very many, and I have learned a lot since I did those, and I need to redo them. So I'd like to redo them with Wind Stitch and see what kind of results I get instead of PC Stitch Pro, which is what I've had for over a decade. I'm hoping that once summer school's done, we're going to focus on making some patterns. I think I'm going to put my shop in vacation mode, because I think what I want to do, when I first created those patterns, I didn't have the current name I do for my Flosstube, and I think it would be nice to have everything consistent and like do rebranding and do set cover page. And I think I would use Canva for that now, when that didn't exist when I created my thing in Microsoft Word. That's how I created my cover page. So that is all of my stitching. I have a little bit of haul. It's just the magazines, my Just Cross Stitch, and 2 World of Cross Stitch, because I didn't show you one that arrived before the last video, and my June one arrived just a couple of days ago. I'm not going to show you everything, but I do want to show you a couple things that I like, and then I will share with you who have been watching this week. So I know that several people are already doing this little friend here. Stitching with Charlie is one of them. I know she changed the colors. Very cute little chameleon guy. I don't know if I will ever get around to him, but he's very cute. But the other 2 things, let's see, was this the... Oh, there we go. Dog-eared. I hate dog ears. I am still tempted by the seasonal stitch along here, which this is not stopping. I have a 2-year subscription to this, so I might decide to do that after. And then, being that I am a Halloween addict, this Lantern Jumbo Biscornio thing caught my eye. Those were the 3 things in here that I really liked. I am not a spring pattern stitcher. I am not generally a spring kind of... I love spring weather and I love flowers, but I'm not a person who generally wants to stitch flowers and such. So then I have the May World of Cross Stitching. There were really only a couple of things in here that really spoke to me. And I did dog ear these 2. Let me flip. Capybara. The capybaras are adorable. Again, I don't know if I'll actually ever get around to stitching it, but they are very cute. Being that I love to read, although cross stitch is kind of taking over my reading time. Ooh, fold that back. It's just a Lake side needlecraft ad on the other side. But they have a bunch of book-related little minis in here this time around, which is cool. And then there's a couple other cute ones, but I know they're not something I would stitch. And then I love the African Grassland Alphabet. Sunset Safari, as they call it. And obviously I can't show you the rest because, like, it's all the pattern. But each one has a different little thing on it. Unfortunately, nobody I know has a letter K in their name, so I can't do the meerkats. And then, for some reason in May, I got 2 gifts, 2 little things. I do love the cat in the tube there with his drink. And the little mice with the birthday cake is adorable. All right, and then the one I got just a couple of days Junes. That's the word I was trying to say. We have this little puppy. He cracks me up, but he does not look like my dog, so I won't be stitching him. These are little bookmarks that go in the corner. I like the alphabet in this one too with the lightning on it. And then, I don't know if I've ever stitched these, but I really like these vintage dresses. And you could take the style and then change the colors. But they have them done on plastic canvas, and then you get a little, can you see? The little hangers, which is kind of cool. Was there anything in here that really jumped out at me? Oh, there was. Pride. A whole bunch of pride patterns. Some of them are super cute. Kind of like the puppy. And of course the unicorn. But they have some just basic pride flags in there too. I already showed y'all those. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. And then this was the free gifts in June. A little pamphlet with these adorable little cards. I think my favorite are the owls. Although the pigs are really cute too. And then a little 3-in-1 bobbin kit. And there's a couple of different designs. I would not actually use this to put my floss on, I don't think. But it would make a good keychain. So, yeah. That was my haul. Don't have a lot. Let me know what you were stitching on during this. I'm going to share some Flosstubers. I did finish one book, but I didn't write anything down to talk about with what I've been reading or watching lately. We started up marathoning Stargate. We're working our way through the Avengers movies, finishing up our Godzilla marathon from last summer. And our viewing is very unfocused at the moment. We're just kind of doing whatever. And that's okay. So, who I've been watching this week. Dark X Stitch put up a new video, so Nadia is back. She did say she's not sure how often she will post, but she's got some great projects, very eclectic designs that she chooses to stitch. So check her out. Animal Instinct, I caught up with her. She did Mermania this year. Some beautiful, beautiful mermaid patterns. Kelly, I think my favorite is her Mermaid's Lament, which looks like an old wood etch carved piece. It's very beautiful. It's antique-y. Looks like something you would see on a pirate map. I love it. Stuart and Stitches, as always, great projects, very friendly. And I am actually impressed with how much progress he gets with his temperature stitching that he does. Caught up with a wee Scott in Yorkshire, Allie, very sweet lady. She is always going on little stitchy adventures, and is doing a training class at her work to teach people how to cross stitch. So that's interesting. Stitch in the Matrix, Wendy. I had recently started watching her, and she did this big whip parade, and she is so funny. She had this whole thing where she pretended that somebody broke into her house and was holding her hostage. She goes, oh, well, since you're here, I'm just going to tell you about all of my cross-stitch projects. And occasionally would mention how, yeah, well, I'm not going to jail for cross-stitching, but, you're going to have some problems when you're done kidnapping me. She kept up the bit for the whole, 2.5 hours. It was hilarious. And she has really great nerdy projects, too. And it was really fun to watch her because I think she's a lot like me. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And she has so many. I don't even know how many. It was a lot. But this is one of the reasons I like the vinyl project the vinyl front project bags is if it's zipped up in there and I can't see it, I'm not going to remember I even have it. I have, as my husband teases me sometimes, I have the memory of a goldfish. And if it is out of sight, it is out of mind, and I will forget it exists. In fact, to find my thread that I'm missing, my 699, I'm going to have to get all my projects out, dig through them to find it. But luckily I have red and brown to do, so I can take some time. But oh my gosh, I am so forgetful about exactly what I have on the go or what colors are in it. I have to physically see it to remind myself. So check out Wendy as Stitch in the Matrix. And I also identify with the title of her channel because I love those movies, for one, and two, I've had situations in my life where, you know, a lighter falls down in the chair and you both look for it and it has disappeared even when you turn the chair upside down. You know, things like that where something that should be there is not there, or, you know, you all look at the hot dog package and when you get it home it's cheese filled rather than regular hot dogs. Those kind of weird little glitches in the Matrix. I'm also caught up with Jade, the 310 Stitcher. She's making excellent progress on her Dragons of the Sabbat, which makes me want to get back to mine. And if you are interested and if you need a stitchy retreat, she is hosting a retreat in Canada in August. I can't go for two reasons. One, well, a couple of reasons. No money. Right at the beginning of the school, we were going to get teacher workshop, and I don't have a passport. And unfortunately, now you need a passport to travel between the United States and Canada ever since 9/11. So I can't just drive across the border and come back home. Although I think she's a little far. I'm not sure. I can't remember which part of Canada I line up with if I go north, but it's okay. Akio Web, great project as always. I'm hoping to meet them at Frogworks this year. I was hoping to meet them last year, but Erica was sick, unfortunately, and so they didn't really participate. I'd really like to hang out with them. They're both really fun people. Also got caught up with DNA Geek Crafts Carrie. She's got some great projects on the go. In the last video, Maka was being a bit naughty. That's one of her dogs. And she is about to head off on an amazing adventure that I'm a bit jealous of. And then I have one Flosstuber that is new to me. I'm pretty sure I heard about her from Mad Morty and Brom, because I know that they have mentioned her. I think that's where I first heard of her, and I've been subscribed to her for a while. But I have like 200 people I'm subscribed to, and whenever somebody mentions somebody new, I just add them to my subscription list and then try to get around to them as soon as I can. And I'm not going to get through as much Flosstube as I would like this summer because summer school starts much earlier, 2 hours earlier than I thought it did. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is Adelaide Stitches. She is Australian. She's, excuse me. I really need to give these up. But I just started watching her this week, and she's got some really cute projects and some really projects that I really like. But she's also a big Halloween stitcher like I am. She likes the cute Halloween, a little bit of the spooky, but more the cutesy Halloween, which is awesome. She's got little kids. I don't know how she gets as much stitching done as she does. But, like, she had her intro whip parade, and then almost right away, bam, 31 days of Halloween. So she was pulling out Halloween projects, and she had a wheel. It was awesome. In fact, I'm excited because it's almost just cross-stitch Halloween time. That's coming soon. So that was like my first big binge of her. I just finished up her 31 Days of Halloween. So if you like spooky stitching, if you like the Australian accent, check her out because I was really enjoying watching her. So that is all my plans. As again, plans change. That's everybody I've been watching lately. I'm going to do some prepping for first day of summer school tomorrow. And then I plan on stitching as much as possible today. We do have our Deadlands game tonight. We won't be playing next week because it's Father's Day here in the U.S. I don't know what my husband and I will do. Maybe we'll order something in so neither of us has to cook. Other than that, I don't got anything for you. We got some thunderstorms and it's cooled off the weather a bit. So that was nice. Saves on the electric bill a bit. But my plan for the next month is focus on the Pride challenges. And maybe get some weekly stitches in, but probably just the Pride challenges. I hope you have a great week stitching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do all the YouTubey things if you would like. Please leave comments. I love interacting with people, finding out what they were stitching while they watched. If you have any hints or tips or tricks about one of my projects, let me know. I don't know what else. That's about it. May today be kinder to you than yesterday, and tomorrow be kinder to you than today. Have a great week. Bye.